WrestleMania 41 is officially in the books, so today I'm ranking all 14 matches from WrestleMania 41 from the worst to the best. Important to note that this list is just my opinion. Feel free to rank every WrestleMania match in the comments down below. I'm very curious to see what you all think, but let's get into it. Getting us started at number 14, we are going to have the New Day versus the War Raiders. Now, this wasn't a bad in-ring match. It really just had no reason being on the WrestleMania card, which I'm sure we all know at this point should have been the SmackDown Tag Team Championships in this spot. It is what it is. Was a solid match. We had the right winner, but honestly, it didn't feel like a WrestleMania match or the crowd wasn't into it. On to the next one. That brings us to number 13 in a match that I do think was bad, and we didn't even have a good build either going into this one, and that's Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. I thought the build was bad, but at least in ring, these two were going to be able to save their feud and actually have a really solid performance, a show-stealing performance at WrestleMania. It didn't work. Their chemistry was completely off. A couple of botches as well. Didn't go the way I thought, and I'm sure a lot of you thought as well. So honestly, I don't think I want to see this again for a long time. Number 12. I think this one the matches actually get decent. Like, I would go back to watch some of these if I want to go through a second run of WrestleMania 41. I'm going to skip the last two. At number 12, we're going with AJ Styles versus Logan Paul, with the two of these guys being really good in the ring, despite what you may think about Logan Paul. Obviously, AJ Styles is a first ballot Hall of Famer. I thought they were going to deliver a lot more than they did. I don't think there's a ton of memorable spots from this match. I expected Logan Paul to do something crazy, or AJ Styles to do something crazy, something that would at least make you say, OMG, but honestly, there really wasn't much to it. And then why were we going to get Karrion Kross at the end of this match? I understand he might go into a feud with AJ Styles after this, but at least let it happen tomorrow night on Raw. Don't let it affect WrestleMania and give Logan Paul the win with that. Number 11 on this list, and I might be a little low on this match after just watching all of these once. Once I go back and watch some of these matches for a second time, this match could move up. But as of right now, I'm going to go with the Tag Team Championship match for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez versus Lyra Valkyria, and the returning Becky Lynch. I don't know why they took Bayley out of this match to put Becky in. I'm not gonna lie, it's a nice little surprise, even though we kind of all knew that Becky Lynch was gonna be the one replacing Bayley. But I don't know how you do that to Bayley. Bayley should be on the card when she put in all this work to get on the card and has been here for the entire year. But despite that, Becky Lynch always a nice little addition to any WrestleMania match. I think it was a good match all around, kind of like the AJ Styles Logan Paul match though. Not a ton of memorable spots. I was pretty surprised though by the winners of this match. I thought Becky Lynch might go ahead and turn heel on Lyra Valkyria or the other way around, and Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez would continue to build on this tag team championship. Number 10, I believe the quickest match at WrestleMania 41. It's Randy Orton versus a mystery opponent. We said his name. He appeared. Joe Hendry was the mystery opponent, and I honestly didn't see that coming. I thought it would be Nick Aldis, Solo Sikoa, or returning Rusev, but they really decided to go out of left field with Joe Hendry. It was a fun little match. Joe Hendry gets the pop from the crowd. A big shout out to TNA. I did not expect him to put the TNA World Champion against Randy Orton at WrestleMania, but here we are in the year 2025. Who would have thought that just a few years ago? But a fun match. Obviously, we knew Randy Orton was going to get the win. We had a couple of cool spots. The RKO where Joe Hendry literally did not see it coming. His eyes didn't even move. It was completely out of nowhere. Randy Orton picks up the win. I just wish we would have got Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton, because you know that match would have been way longer, way more brutal, and a lot more entertaining. But overall, solid match for Randy. We had to get him on the card. Number 9. Here we go. The match I thought was easily going to be top 3, top 2 at WrestleMania. John Cena, Cody Rhodes. It's low on my list. I might have to watch it again. Maybe it gets better with the second watch or more watches. But how are you even going to start at number 9 with John Cena's final WrestleMania match? First thing we need to cover about this match, it's not going to be WrestleMania 40 Part 2. If you were expecting WrestleMania 40 Part 2, we didn't get it. You're obviously going to be underwhelmed by that. There was no Rock interference, no Stone Cold Steve Austin, no big surprise moments of people coming to help Cody Rhodes or John Cena, except for Travis Scott, which we will get to in a little bit. Now, I definitely don't mind John Cena the way he played this match at the beginning. He started slow. He would do the typical heel things. Cody Rhodes gets a couple of moves in. He rolls onto the bottom rope. He wants to go to the outside, take a break. But honestly, I think Cody Rhodes should have been on him a ton more. When John Cena rolls out of the ring, Cody Rhodes has to chase him. Cody Rhodes has to put the pressure on, keep the momentum big. He would just let John Cena roll out. I think maybe one suicide dive to the outside when John Cena did that. Other than that, Cody Rhodes really just let John Cena take his time. It was a little too slow for my liking. If we were going to get a strong pickup second half of the match where it really started to pick up the pace, I know John Cena hit a lot of finishers. Cody Rhodes hit a couple of crossroads as well, but there were, for some reason, I just felt like we never hit that second gear. They were going back and forth with moves like we would get in most matches. The ref goes down at some point, and now we obviously know we're going to get some sort of shenanigans, but I did not think the only interference in this match would be Travis Scott. Now, I know he was part of the storyline at Elimination Chamber. Some of you are going to say it makes sense that he came out. I don't care. I do not care. This is John Cena's potential 17th world title, record-breaking world championship win. Don't give me an interference if it's going to be Travis Scott. It better be The Rock, or it should be nothing. It should be The Rock or nothing. If we're not getting The Rock and he just brings Travis Scott with him, don't give me Travis Scott by himself. Maybe we're going to get The Rock in the future. I don't want to hear it. Don't give me Travis Scott as the only interference to a John Cena 17th championship potential match. If Cena, the ref, went down and then just took the championship and hit Cody Rhodes with it, picked up the 1, 2, 3, won it that way, I am completely fine with him winning it the heel way. I just didn't want the Travis Scott interference. I still would have been probably a little underwhelmed because I don't think this match lived up to the hype at all even before the Travis Scott interference, but that Travis Scott interference honestly lowered it down on my rankings even more. However, if you want to pick up this awesome John Cena t-shirt I'm wearing in this video, use my code GauntletYT. I'm planning you for it. I'll put the link in the shirt in the description. You'll get 20% off. At number 8, I have El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix making his WrestleMania debut. A lot of injuries in this build up to WrestleMania, both storyline and non-storyline. This one was a non-storyline injury with Rey Mysterio. He cannot go. Luckily, we had a solid replacement in Rey Fenix. I figured at that point El Grande Americano was going to pick up the win, but it was a fun match. We had, what was that 540 senton? Is that what you would call it from El Grande Americano? I thought that was an awesome move. These guys actually had a pretty exciting match. I figured with both of the talents that they were in Chad Gable and we had Rey Fenix, I enjoyed it all the way. Sadly, the lack of storyline between the two of these guys is what's going to lower it a little bit on my rankings. Have it here at number 8. Number 7, main event Jey Uso versus Gunther, World Heavyweight Championship, and Jey gets his world title in the WWE. This was definitely an above average singles match for Jey Uso. He put up a way better match than he did last year against Jimmy at WrestleMania 40. He was pulling out moves that he normally wouldn't use in a singles match. And then at the end, we have the 3 Uso splashes followed up by the choke. I thought Gunther might have tapped a little too early. You can make the debate about that in the comments down below. Did he tap too early? Should he have passed out? Should he have maybe struggled for a minute and then had the tap out? Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. But Jey had a solid match. Gunther, always a solid performance. Looks like he's going to be kind of the final boss for underdogs, where if somebody's not really expected to win going into WrestleMania, put him up against Gunther and then they get that big win. At number 6, I'm going with Jade Cargill versus Naomi. I think both of these women, no titles on the line, just a pure vengeance match, and they did a really good job. The storyline build was awesome. Obviously, Naomi with this heel turn, great persona for her. She's really standing out now. Her and Jade had a solid match, a match I was looking forward to, but honestly blew my expectations out of the water. I had a really good time with this match. It's ranked above both men's world championship matches. That's how much I liked it. I'm gonna go back and watch all these matches a second time. We'll see if that holds up, but from first watch, I enjoyed this match. Into the top 5, we go with Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight for the United States Championship. This one was a fun one. Second best match of night 1 in my opinion. I thought this match had the potential to be a squash match. I'm very happy to say that it wasn't. It was a solid 10-12 minute match, just trying to base it off my memory here, where we had exciting moments. Jacob Fatu is so over with the crowd. He got the win. The moonsault into the BFT. Awesome moment. Jacob Fatu has World Heavyweight Champion written all over him, maybe as soon as next WrestleMania. LA Knight definitely doesn't lose anything here from losing to Jacob Fatu, a guy who is getting extremely over in this company, and like I just said, could be World Champion by next year, so he's going to be completely fine. Put on a very, very good United States Championship one-on-one match. And that's going to start with Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest in the Sin City Street Fight match. Everybody was complaining when we heard that Drew was going to take on Damian. Oh my goodness, Drew McIntyre should be doing something bigger this WrestleMania. It's such a good year last year. Yeah, he did have a good year last year, and he also had a great match tonight, and that's going to build into something I would imagine within the next few months where he's definitely competing for a title. And Drew McIntyre is a professional. Whatever you give him, he is going to make absolute gold with it. He's having match of the years almost every single time he steps onto a PLE, and massive props to Damian Priest too. These two guys, they saw what was happening online. People were underrating this match, and they went out there and put on an absolute banger, going going through tables, big spots, and then the finish with the Claymore into the chair in the corner. This was an awesome street fight. I think the best one-on-one match on the card, and a lot of people thought it was going to be terrible, or at least they thought the build was going to be terrible when they heard what Drew McIntyre was doing this year for Mania. Great job by the both of these guys. The top 3 matches are all triple threat matches and a fatal 4-way, and the fatal 4-way match for the IC Championship finds its way at number 3 with Dirty Dominic Mysterio picking up the win. This match had every single thing you want. These guys were going absolutely crazy. Braun Breaker was flying out of nowhere to hit anything that moved. Penta had some pretty awesome spots. I thought when he hit the Penta driver, he was actually going to pick up the win. Dominic Mysterio, though, at some point after the coup de grace from Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio comes flying in with the frog splash. 1, 2, 3. I predicted it. I think this will be an extremely entertaining Intercontinental Championship reign for Dominic Mysterio. The top 2 were incredibly difficult for me to decide which one I wanted at 1 and which one I wanted at 2, but I know why I put my number 1 there, and we'll talk about it when we get there. So number 2, it's the Women's World Championship match between Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley. This triple threat match was a ton of fun. It wasn't one of those triple threat matches where all 3 women weren't involved at the same time. They were hitting spots on each other. All their moves kind of follow through into someone else's moves. We had the top rope spots. We had the finisher spots. We had just an awesome all-around triple threat match to kick off night 2, and Io Sky I thought would be the winner. She was the winner, and these women absolutely delivered in the best women's match of the weekend. This leaves us with number 1, and I wouldn't be surprised if anybody else did not have this at number 1. It's the triple threat match between Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth freaking Rollins. This match absolutely had it all. It had the story, it had the table spots, it had the fighting and the crowd spots. Honestly, it was on the edge of my seat the entire time towards the end because I thought any of these 3 guys could have won it. I was thinking maybe CM Punk or Seth Rollins, so when Roman Reigns would go for a pin, I was like, he is Roman Reigns. They might go ahead and give it to him, but I thought CM Punk or Seth Rollins were going to pick up the win here, and I went with Seth. It wound up being Seth, and again, kind of like the Drew and Damian match. A lot of people were like, oh, it has to have a world title, there's no stakes, blah, blah, blah. And now everybody's gonna be talking about this match the most after WrestleMania 41. Why did Seth Rollins align with Paul Heyman? What's Paul Heyman gonna do? Why would he betray Roman Reigns and CM Punk? This match had the most questions after it. It was the most exciting match of the entire weekend, the double table spot to Seth Rollins and CM Punk from Roman Reigns. Oh, I loved every single second of this match. It didn't need a world title for it to be absolutely awesome, but I would love to know what you all thought about WrestleMania 41 in the comments down below. This was a different type of video for me. I normally make WWE 2K25 content, so if that's your thing, make sure to like the video and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. I hope you all enjoyed WrestleMania 41.